Chapter 15 104 Days Missing. Manish walked into our bedroom and came over to the desk where I sat, towering over me. "What is Sohana doing?" he said. I looked up from the computer screen. "She is drawing posters," I said. "What poster exactly, Alia?" "To find Sia. She is helping me." "What will you do with these posters made by a 7-year-old with crayons?" "Put them all over Gurugram, wherever I can. Lamp post, bookshops, cafes." "Why are you interrogating me like this?" "You can't make Suhana do this." "Excuse me? Why can't Suhana help her mother search for her sister? Not all of us are blessed with a convenient memory." "She is 7, for God's sake, Alia. This will mess her up." "How?" "I want her to move on. If she keeps thinking about Sia, make poster about her, how will that happen?" "Why should she move on?" I said, my voice loud. "Because Sia is dead," Manish said. "Shut up, Manish," I screamed, so loud that Suhana must have heard in the other room. She ran into our bedroom, a poster in her hand. "Mommy, why are you fighting with Daddy?" she said, making a puppy face with her eyes wide. "I'm not, beta. I shouted by mistake. Sorry." "I will make one more poster for Didi." "No," Manish said. "Go to your room and play with your Barbie." "I only like playing with Barbie with Sia Didi." I didn't want Suhana to see me cry or get upset. I gently held her shoulders, turned her around, and nudged her to leave the room. "Watch TV or something," Manish called out after her. I shut the door and collapsed on the bed. Manish came and sat next to me. "I have to keep looking for her, Manish, even if I have to do it alone. Don't ask me to stop, I beg you," I said in between sobs. "Calm down, Alia," he said. "I miss her too. You know, it is a continuous humming in my heart, but this won't help." He had tears in his eyes as well. For the first time, both of us had acknowledged Sia's loss and cried together. "Let us cry as much as we want today," Manish said, his voice choked. "But let us also try to move on and maybe accept that Sia is gone forever." The last line echoed in my head a few times. I cried the most I ever had in my life. 10 minutes later, I heard a knock on the bedroom door. "I'll lay out the lunch," Neelu said. 145 days missing. "Sorry, ma'am. We can't allow poster of missing child. It upsets our customers," the cafe barista at Locomotion Cafe in Gurugram said. "You have a picture of a missing kitten on your notice board. We like to project a fun vibe. A missing kitten flyer is cute. A missing child poster is serious," he said, working the levers of his cafe machine. I nodded. I took a seat at one of the tables. Since morning, only 6 out of the 40 places I had visited had allowed me to put up Sia's poster. I checked my phone. I had made a special email account to information on Sia and mentioned it on all the posters and on all online forms and posts I had for Sia. I had 2 new emails in this account. I opened them one at a time. From Well-wisher. "Dear mother of Sia, I am sorry for the loss of your child. I know the maternal instinct want you to keep looking, but fact is Sia is dead. As they showed on TV, look after your other daughter, the one still alive. Life has to go on. Regards, Well-wisher." I opened the next email from rescue team. "Dear parents, guardian, we can help you find your missing child. If you want us to work on it, please send an advance of Rs 50,000 to the PayPal account mentioned below." I deleted both the email and kept my phone aside. The barista arrived with my black coffee. "Is this your daughter?" he said, glancing at the poster. I nodded. "I saw her on TV. She went missing a few months ago, right?" 4 months, 22 days and 12 hours ago," I said. 260 days missing. "I'm so glad you started coming downstairs again." said Anita, who lived on the 10th floor of Tower B. We were sitting on one of the benches by the playground in Icon. I smiled, my eyes on Suhana, who was playing with Yukti, Anita's daughter, in the sandpit. What happened is terrible, Anita said. I can't even imagine what you are going through. If something happened to Yukti, I would just die. I thought of dying too, I said, my eyes still on Suhana. Really? Anita said, yes, but I can't because of Suhana. That and one more reason. What? If I am gone, nobody will look for Sia. I am the only one still trying to find her. Anita squeezed my hand in support. Manish knows you are still looking, sort of. As in? He has an idea when he sees me busy on my computer. We don't really discuss it. In fact, we don't really discuss anything these days, I thought. I'm just happy you are coming down to the garden again. I don't want to. I don't want to be out, go to the gym, cook or do the things I used to, but I have to for Suhana. I have to give her a semblance of normalcy. Suhana asked Manish, why is mommy always sad? Oh, Anita said in a soft voice. All I really want to do is look for Sia. No real purpose to life otherwise. You should get help, Anita said. From whom? I don't know. Maybe hire someone professional. Oh, do you know the people on the 17th floor Tower C? I shook my head. There's a Rajasthani uncle and auntie living in one of the flats there. Sweet people. They come to the garden every evening. What about them? I heard their son is some private detective. Say hello to them next time they come to the garden. I nodded, looking up at the 17th floor of Tower C.